Sitting on the park bench, eyeing little girls with bad intensity. Hey, HAKUNA, drying in the cold sun, watching as the pretty Peggy.
The Lion King was arguably Disney's best animated film, and at the time, 1994 to be exact, it was the highest grossing animated film of all time. Several video game adaptations emerged. The one I'll be reviewing is for the Sega Genesis. Although the Super Nintendo version is pretty much identical, the only noticeable difference is the soundtrack, which has the same songs, just different versions. So although this is specifically a Genesis review, you can pretty much count this as a dual review of both systems because they're almost exactly the same. Of course, you'll play as Simba, the film's protagonist, following his journey from a young cub prince to an adult aspiring to lead the kingdom as the Lion King, and take revenge on his uncle who murdered his brother, Simba's father Mufasa, to take his place as king. The game follows the film's plot very closely, even including very brief cutscenes between stages to set the tone. It's a platformer, and there are plenty of rocky platforms to jump on as well as cling to swing off of. You have two means of attack, and they differ depending on what section of the game you're in. As young Simba, you're primarily pouncing on your adversaries, and as adult Simba, you can slash. You can also roar, and you get a roar meter at the upper left-hand side of the screen. The one on the right side is your health meter. When you roar at nearby enemies, they may be stunned, fall off the screen entirely, or not be affected at all. Young Simba's roar isn't nearly as effective as it is when he's older, but there's still a fair share of enemies you can take out with it. Once you roar, your meter empties completely, but then starts regenerating on its own. It doesn't take all that long to fill up. You can find bug power-ups that extend your maximum roar and health meters, as well as refill your health, and this one takes you to a bonus stage should you beat the level. The graphics are superb. Everything's colorful and there's a lot of detail, including the character models, which all look fantastic. They're about as close to their film counterparts as you could possibly get on a 16-bit console. The levels are also designed well, and for the most part they're very distinct from each other. The controls are great. You might have to get used to the jumping though. You can take a long range jump or a high arc pattern jump if you hold up on the D-pad as well as the direction you're jumping. And if you're in a hurry, you may accidentally pull off the wrong jump if you slightly miscalculate your thumb location on the D-pad. It's nice how the game offers up different button combinations for roaring, jumping, and slashing, so whatever combo you're most comfortable with, you can utilize as opposed to adjusting to the game's only control scheme. There's also 3 difficulty variations. The normal setting is quite the challenge, so if you can beat this game on difficult, you've got some serious skill. The option menu also offers up a sound test in case you want to browse through the game's soundtrack, which is very well done. Many of the songs are renditions of songs from the actual motion picture soundtrack. I'm not so sure if they're all from the movie. I haven't seen the film in a while. I was never a big fan of Can You Feel the Love Tonight or Can't Wait to Be King, but the 16-bit versions of these songs, and the whole soundtrack for that matter, are well produced. In between levels, you'll get one of 2 different bonus stages. Bug Toss, where Timon drops bugs down and you have to catch them controlling Pumbaa. Sometimes he'll drop 1-ups and continues in between a long string of regular bugs. The other is Bug Hunt, and there are a few variations of it. Controlling Timon, you have to grab as many bugs as you can. If you collect 10 bugs, you'll get a continue or an extra life in rotation. The stage ends if you grab a Black Widow or run out of time. Also, the Black Widows throughout the stages will decrease your health. Some levels have boss battles, but disappointingly, more often than not, they just end. Some of the bosses are just a series of hyenas that you fought regularly throughout the game. And one boss is so fucking cryptic, you'd wish there wasn't even a boss. Although I don't know if it even qualifies as a boss, it's closer to a puzzle, but I'll get into that in the walkthrough. In fact, let's start that segment now. The first stage is in Simba's home neighborhood of the Pride Lands. The lizards will stick their tongues out at you, so don't get too close to them if you want to roar and stun them, but I would just pounce on them anyway. The porcupines you don't want to jump on or you'll take a hit. First roar at them to flip them over and then land on them. There are these blue bugs that explode a few seconds after you jump on them, or immediately after you roar at them, so make sure you keep away from them when they blow up. It's a basic linear path back and forth, gradually getting higher up the rocks, but there are a few secrets here. First, when you get to this area near the tree, slip down here and carefully jump across to get the ladybug and increase your max health. Then you can jump up and pick up where you left off. The Simba insignia here is the checkpoint in case you die. Make sure you always get these. The next secret area is up here. Climb down and make sure the coast is clear of this porcupine when getting the 1-up. Then roll your way down the secret passageway by running and then holding down. This technique can also be used to knock the porcupines over on top of roaring. Kill another porcupine and get the health bug as well as a continue. The only way out is to roll down this way. It'll take you back to practically the beginning of the stage, so it's a good idea to kill every enemy so you don't have to battle them twice. When you get back up, head to the left and get on these trees here for a bonus bug, some health, and a blue bug to extend your maximum roar. When you get to the top, a hyena will be waiting for you at the end. He'll walk back and forth and jump around a bit. Just try to avoid him, and when he's running out of breath, jump on him. The amount of hits he takes depends on the difficulty. It's only 2 in normal mode, so a real easy boss to start the game. You'll get a short cutscene of Mufasa telling Simba that everything the light touches is their kingdom. Basically, he's teaching him how to be king. Next stage is called Can't Wait to Be King, and it has quite a learning curve to it. Grab the rhino tail and swing yourself onto his head. He'll bump you up, and the monkeys will toss you onto a giraffe's head. Jump quickly from giraffe to giraffe. They look up after you land on them and knock you into the water. Now here's one of the puzzles of the stage. Swinging on the rhino will again send you up to the monkeys, but they won't throw you where you want to go. If you roar at the purple monkeys, they'll change direction and throw you somewhere else. So using the bird's nests as platforms, roar at the monkey here, and then the other one down here. Jump on the rhino and you'll eventually land on the back of an ostrich. You can command the ostrich to jump and you can duck down, both of which you're going to need to do here to avoid the pigs on the ground and the tree branches. Arrows will pop up to signal when to jump, duck, and double jump. Jumping twice will get you over the pig and the tree that's in the way. But time your second jump right. If you do it too early or too late, you'll bump your head and die. It's pretty tricky at first. When you get past all that, the ostrich sends you flying to the checkpoint. You can swing across these rhino tails, but I advise you to climb up the hippo by the ear and go up this way, slipping down the giraffe to get the continue here. Then head down here to get an extra life and get back up the hippo's nose and then over the giraffe to another ostrich segment. This time you'll get no arrows warning you what hazard is up next. You have to have quick reflexes here. The order is jump, duck, jump, jump, duck, double jump, duck, duck, jump, double jump. You'll be sent flying to one more monkey puzzle to finish off the level. Now this one's more complex because it spans 2 areas. There are 2 rhinos. Jump on the head of the one on the right to get an extra life. First roar at the monkey down here to the left of the rhino you just bounced off of. Then hop onto the rhino on the left and you'll be sent to this island on the other side. As soon as you land on the bird's nest, roar at the monkey over here, head down and hop across these logs that pop in and out of the water. Take a ride on the rhino on the left to be sent over to the other side, and then back again and you'll land here. Roar at this monkey, then climb down and roar at this monkey down here. Take another ride on the rhino on the left and you'll be escorted straight to the next level, the elephant graveyard. You'll land in an open area with 2 hyenas. You won't be able to advance unless you kill them. After taking them out, head left. Grab the power-ups here, slip down and don't grab this bug, it'll drain your health. Kill the hyena here, careful not to accidentally cling to the bones up here while you're fighting him, and leap up here to get to the bonus bug. Then swing over here and watch these vultures, they'll swoop down at you, so move out of the way when they do and leap onto them. Slip down here and grab the health bug and jump between these bones that barricade you from the other side. Climb up these bones and you can drop down here for some power-ups and you'll land right on the edge of the ground clinging to it. When you get to the edge of this hill, take a long jump so you don't fall into the pit and you'll hit the checkpoint. Quickly climb up these rocks from side to side to avoid the green shit that spews up and follows you. If you make it to the top in time, you can grab the health bug up here, but be quick. Do a quick double jump off this loose tusk and bones. They'll collapse underneath you. You'll battle some vultures and hyenas along the way here. Be sure to fight them until you're real low on health so you can grab the health bug and maximize your chances for survival. Slip down here to grab a continue. You're pretty much guaranteed to get hit, but there's a health bug just up ahead. Jump between the bones and the trampoline to get back up. Up next is essentially the boss battle, 2 hyenas. Once you kill them, this barricade will drop and you'll escape the elephant graveyard with Scar watching from overhead. The next stage is the Stampede, where you have to avoid a pack of wildebeests charging at you. There are 5 areas where these bastards will pop up from, so use your reflexes and maneuver Simba away from them. And later on in the Stampede, there'll be rocks you have to jump over or simply avoid. Most of them will come with a warning with the rock blinking to alert you of the location, but once in a while it'll be a question mark. Both times this happens, the rock will appear here on the inner right hand side. Once you get through it, you get a cutscene with Scar telling the hyenas to go kill Simba. One thing I was always disappointed with was the absence of Mufasa's death in any of the cutscenes. It's not even mentioned in any way. Oh well. Simba's exile is next. Not only are you battling lizards, porcupines, and hyenas, but you also have falling rocks to deal with throughout most of the stage, so keep one eye overhead and one eye in front of you. When you get to this hill, a boulder will roll at you, but there's a porcupine in the way, so roll over him and move quickly to outrun the boulder. Then swing across these rocks to avoid the pack of porcupines underneath. Right after that is another rolling boulder. This time jump up into this nook and cling to the rock and let the boulder roll by. Then slip down here and cling to this rock to avoid falling into the thorns. Carefully swing from rock to rock here so you don't fall into the thorns below. There'll be a few spots here where you have a small rock to stand on with a large patch of thorns in front and a long jump to get to the next side. Slip down each time to land in the safe zone and launch as far as you can so you don't land in the thorns. Then after the checkpoint, roll over all these porcupines or roar at them. There's a shitload of them. Speaking of shitloads, there's a shitload of rocks to cling onto over a bottomless pit. Swing from rock to rock precisely, but don't take your time too much as the falling rocks will knock you off. When you get to the end of that, you'll run off finishing the level, no boss. The hyenas will give Simba a warning that if he ever returns, they'll kill him. The next stage is Hakuna Matata. There's a couple frogs at the beginning that lash their tongue out at you. Jump on them, and after heading down the fall, you can steer yourself to either side when there's a fork, although it really doesn't matter at the beginning, unless you need health. Then take your first left no matter which way you go originally, and you'll end up down here. Kill the spider that dangles from the web, and grab the health bug. These spiders will pop up throughout the stage. They jump a lot and they're pretty fast, so just make sure you're higher than them and pounce on them. Then swing your way from rock to rock here. Grab the one up here, and you'll hit the checkpoint when you get to the top. If you need some health, do a running jump to grab the health bug here, but you're gonna slide down the chute and have to climb the rocks all over again. No big deal. Then you'll come to a waterfall with a shitload of logs going over the fall, most of which are defying the laws of physics by traveling at different speeds. You've got to use these logs to get to the top of the fall, so target the slowest logs first and take as little time as possible to transition to the next log so you don't fall behind. There's also a one-up on the right side. When you get to the top, head left and jump off, avoiding the black widows and grabbing the bonus bug. But you're gonna have to climb up the logs again, so only do this if you really want to do the bonus stage. When you get back up the logs, head right, kill the frogs and shit in your path, hit the checkpoint and make sure you fall to the left side here so you don't fall into the water and you're at the boss, a gorilla that will bitch slap you whenever you get anywhere near him. He'll eat a banana and chuck boulders at you. Jump on or over them to avoid getting hit. You're probably better off avoiding them altogether so you don't ricochet into the next one. When he stands up and smashes the ground, jump so you aren't affected by the shaking ground and pounce off him. He'll change spots, but the process is repeated several times. Just keep up the same routine until he gets to the top, smashes this platform up here, which collapses underneath him, and he drops to his death. Without any cutscene or anything, Simba is now an adult. Simba's destiny is the next stage. Now that you're an adult, you can't roll anymore, nor can you pounce on your enemies, but you can slash, both from a standing and ducking position, as well as a standing slash on your hind leg, a throw, and a mauling. Your roar is also more powerful now, but for the most part, you're just going to want to repeatedly slash because it's so much more effective, which is cool. I mean, slashing shit is awesome, but it does get kind of repetitive, and honestly, it takes some of the fun factor level away from these adult stages of the game. The first enemy you'll encounter here are these leopards. They just lash out at you. Slash the shit out of them repeatedly. Then there are these monkeys that throw their shit at you or something. Take them out with one swipe, or if you can, roar at them, and if you're close enough, they'll go down and you won't have to worry about getting hit. Then you'll run into the first of several leopard dens, where a few of these leopards will pop out one at a time. Just stand in front of them and slash away. They won't be a problem at all. Slash the vine holding up the boulder here and let it roll so you don't get hurt. Then hop on this boulder that's hanging and jump up here for a hidden continue and slash the vine. But don't do it while you're standing on it or you'll fall onto it while it's rolling. And that means death, so jump and slash and then use the boulder as a stepping stone across the thorns. Knock down this boulder to give you a boost up here. After that is another leopard den, and then you're at the end, no boss. Mufasa's ghost appears in the sky, telling Simba to go back to Pride Rock and reclaim the throne. The next stage is Be Prepared, as in be prepared for one bitch of a level. There's so much shit going on at once. Hyenas in front of you, bats flying down from overhead, geysers that spit up flames from hell, and droplets of red shit. Can't rush through it. Move slowly and wait for the droplets to fall in front of you. Then move on, kill the hyenas and leopards that are in the area, and when you get to the next geyser, wait for that to erupt and then move. Similar approach to the red droplets. Eventually you get to a couple geysers and a dead end. There are 2 unstable rocks between the geysers. You'll need to knock the loose rocks from overhead to clear the way. So wait for the flames to go away and then jump and give it a few slashes. It may take a couple rounds, so don't rush it and risk getting hit. Now there are 2 options to take here. If you go left, you'll hit the checkpoint, which is pretty damn important in the second half of the stage because it's difficult as shit, and you don't want to go back to the beginning. The right side, you'll find a 1-up and some bugs. Either way, you'll land on the raft and start floating across the lava. I say take the left side and grab the continue. What good is the extra life if you're probably going to lose it and backtrack anyway? So ride the raft, and if you want a 1-up bad enough, there's one right here. Just swing across the rock and grab it. Just watch out for the bat and make sure you land back on the raft. There's a spot you have to hop up on and fight a hyena and a leopard. Take them out quickly so the raft doesn't get too far away from you, and grab the 1-up here if you can time your jump to land back on the raft. Then you'll arrive on land after killing a few pests. Run for your life cause a boulder will roll at you. Make sure you don't overshoot the drop and land in the lava. Turn quickly. Then you'll ride another raft, but it's extremely short. Let it hit the wall and wait here for the leopards to get close and jump and slash from here. It's much easier than trying to climb up there to fight. Soon after is the boss, kinda. It's not really a boss, it's just 4 geysers and a dead end. They shoot up and rocks fall down at you. Your first instinct is, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Nothing is self-explanatory here at all. I was stuck on this spot for so long, trying shit like swiping at the air above the geysers, thinking that you had to plug them up with rocks. It turns out you are supposed to plug these up, but you're supposed to do it by doing absolutely nothing. Just avoid the falling rocks, which is easier said than done because they fall at such a fast clip you may not see them coming. You can hold up to see what's above you and get a better idea. Just make sure you quickly move if they're falling above you. They'll start plugging up from right to left, so I'd stay on the far right side, try to slip in the gaps and make my way across. Once they're all filled, it's on to the next stage, SIMBA'S Return. This stage is nothing but caves that take you through a long freaking maze. Reminds me of the 6th stage of Monster Party on the NES. Such a pain in the ass. This one isn't quite as bad, but it sucks that you can't enter a cave until all the hyenas in the area are destroyed. The whole stage is nothing but trial and error throughout the caves, with hyenas usually in between. So what you want to do is first go through the cave all the way to the right. Kill the hyena and enter the next cave. Then kill the hyena, climb up the left side here, drop down, kill this hyena and enter the cave. Drop down, kill the hyenas, then climb back up and enter the cave just above the one you came in. Kill these hyenas and enter the cave on the bottom right hand side. Kill the hyenas and enter the next cave. Climb up these rocks, kill the hyena, and enter the cave on the left. Now you've got 4 hyenas to contend with, which is the boss battle. Try to lure them all into one spot so you can get more than one hit with each swipe and avoid sneak attacks. Save the health bug from when you're in dire straits, and when you're done with them, it's on to the 10th and final level, Pride Rock. You'll battle Scar right away, although don't worry, this isn't the final battle. You'll wish it was though after fighting him for as long as you do. He takes more hits than Cheech and Chong combined. Upon writing that joke, I actually had forgotten about the fact that Cheech Marin voiced one of the hyenas in the film. Anyway, Scar's a pain in the ass, but only if you let him be that way. Don't maul or do standing attacks. He'll tackle you and drain a lot of your health. Instead, focus on slashing. He'll block a lot of shots, but just keep slashing, both crouching and normal. To avoid getting hit, give him a few hits, back up, and run after him. He'll jump trying to land on you, but he'll just sail right over you. Then go back to striking him again. If you can get him into a corner, just keep wailing away at him. When you get him out of breath momentarily, throw his ass. It'll speed up the process of this fight. After he's finally had enough, he'll run away like a pussy. Chase after him. Now for the proper stage. Swing across these rocks. You'll automatically grab the health bug by swinging to the next rock normally, so don't try to aim yourself at the bug. There'll be hyenas to kill, which are inexplicably already out of breath, but you've got to contend with lightning that sets fire to a few spots on the rocks, so don't dilly-dally. The fire will eventually go out, so you could wait for it to die, or you can take an alternate route if there is one. Carefully swing across all these rocks. If you fall down, you'll end up back at the beginning and have to deal with it all over again. Climb up onto this rock so you can reach the smaller rocks up here and advance through the level, but watch out for the edge here, lightning may strike it. If it compromises your ability to get enough of a running jump, wait for it to die. Carefully swing up all these rocks, it's a funny angle, but it's not that hard. The Scar will be waiting for you again. It's the same battle as earlier, so do the same shit. If you need health, climb up all these rocks by jumping away and then back towards the wall upwards, and you'll find a health bug up top. After dealing enough blows, Scar will run away again. Follow the linear path, kill the hyenas, and ascend the rocks. Avoid the spots where the lightning strikes, setting it ablaze. When you get to the top, Scar is waiting again, and this time it's the final showdown. One thing that really sucks is that there are no checkpoints in the entire stage, so if you get all the way here and die, you'll have to start all over again and fight Scar another 3 times. It's fucking brutal. Same strategy as earlier, only this time you need to throw him off the rock. So lure him to the edge with your back facing the edge and throw him off the cliff, finishing him off for good. Simba will stand at the edge and roar, and look back as if he's looking for some kind of cue of what to do next as it starts raining and lightning strikes and shit. Then you get a shot of Simba standing proudly as the new king and the credits roll. The Lion King is one of the better movie-to-video game renditions from this era. A lot of the games didn't do its movie justice, but this is an exception. It may not be perfect, but it's a very solid platformer. You'll especially enjoy it if you're up for a challenge and you're a fan of the film. So that wraps up this edition of Aqualung's Game Reviews. See you next time.